Hi, this is Megan Gacious, and this is response to a discussion board for development of Western freedoms. The question being asked of me today is, why is the concept of Western civilization relevant to today? In the first article I read, what exactly is the West? There was one sentence that really stood out to me and kind of helped me understand why is it relevant to today. Is the West triggers hatred and dismissal. Obviously, in the past, there was much hatred, especially when you're studying all things history. There's, slavery, there's segregation, there's Jim Crow's laws, there's all this across the board, and that's just in the United States. Obviously, slavery was everywhere, so, especially in the West, there's all this hatred, and today, one thing that has created so much hatred is critical race theory. So much hatred that there's being legislation drawn on this, banning it across the United States, in several states, to where you can't teach it in the academic setting. And one news article that I read to try to keep up with this idea is that they put forth that there is so much confusion on what critical race theory is, and confusion contributes to hatred and not knowing what this is. Not knowing what this is and what it means and what it does creates hatred and dismissal. My second and third point piggyback off of each other, and it's from one of the articles we had to read and the required text. What is Western civilization? And in the book Inventing Freedoms, Birkin, he sets an idea put forth by David Wilkerson, that the Western civilization can be described as central. And when I think of the word central, I think of it being in the center of Western civilization, like in the center. What is in the center of the West? And I think it is relevant to today because United States or Britain, whatever, is trying to be the central powerhouse among all others. Example, NATO, it was a Western idea to put peace among after World War I. But then there's my third point. When you think of central, you think of the culture, and part of culture is language. Now this comes from Inventing Freedoms, that language, and in the book, I like the way that he says it, that language creates a sense of sympathy that extends beyond the state borders. Speaking the same language kind of puts people at ease, especially in the political realm. I guess when you're meeting with different leaders, being able to speak the same language can help bring understanding. And even in areas where there's not an Anglophone country, English has become the official language. And Hannon says, English is today the official language of almost every international association: ESEAN, NATO, and the World Bank, the IMF, APEC, OPEC, and it is commonly used in organizations where none of the member states the Anglophone, such as the European Free Trade Association. So the central language of some of these associations is English. And why that may be, I think just one assumption is that English has more expressions than others, and has way more expressions, way more meanings, because of dialects of English and just different ideas that words can mean different things in English than what it means in their native language, and it could be a point that they're trying to get across. So the idea of Western civilization is still very relevant to today. It may look a little different, and it may look a little the same, but the ideas are still very relevant to today. That's all I have. Thank you for listening.